In this video, I will be talking about the month or so before my foot surgery. If you would like to hear about how I injured my foot, what kind of injury it was, and why it was that I waited so long to get my foot surgery, please follow the link in my video description. The month before my surgery, I was doing short walks of about 10 to 15 minutes at a time rather than my typical 30-minute walks because my foot was not able to tolerate walking for long periods of time anymore. At this point, I could feel the displaced bones in my foot scraping against each other pretty often because the ligament that was supposed to hold them together was completely torn, and I had had the injury for so long that my foot was pretty unstable. I was determined to take advantage of my ability to walk, however limited that was though, and also going to the gym while I could. I did struggle a lot with feeling so limited in what I could do though. I had to turn down plans because it hurt too much to drive. The pain in my foot and ankle was nearly constant, and driving would cause pain and numbness that would work its way all the way up to my knee. I couldn't drive out to parks for hikes anymore, couldn't walk around the city for photography adventures like I love to do. I was feeling hopeless and isolated because I had to turn down so many social plans. Driving and walking were becoming too painful, and my entire life felt like it was revolving around what I couldn't do. I was still able to walk at least 3 miles a day like I had been for the past few years, but just barely, and it was broken up into those 10 to 15 minute walks at a time and steps around the house. And any drives that I was doing was either very short drives for social plans or quick trips for the grocery stores and driving that I had to do for work. For someone who is used to being active, it was torturous having to wait. On Thursday, July 25th, 2024, I had my last home visit for work that afternoon. I was really excited to have the next couple work days be work from home days to catch up on my paperwork before the surgery. On Friday, July 26th, 2024, I got a call from the surgical floor at the hospital with detailed instructions for my surgery on Tuesday, July 30th. First, they reminded me that I would be getting a call on Monday, July 29th in the afternoon to give me the time of the surgery. Then they gave me a phone number to call so that if I hadn't heard by 3:30 p.m. the day before my surgery, that I could give them a call to know about the time. I got a different phone number to call on the day of my surgery if I was running late for the surgery. Then they let me know what floor to come into when I arrived for my surgery. They let me know that I would sign in at kiosks by the elevators on that floor, and they let me know that the waiting area was near the kiosks. The last instructions was no food after midnight, regardless of what time of day my surgery was, so I was really hoping that my surgery wouldn't start too late in the day. They said that I was allowed to drink clear fluids until 3 hours before my surgery, which was really nice. Coffee to them, as long as it didn't have creamer in it, counted as a clear fluid, which was also great so that I could have caffeine. I spent the day catching up on paperwork that Friday for my job from home and enjoyed not having to drive anywhere that day for work. My sister Sophie came over that evening, and we did a few steps together in the neighborhood with a friend's dog that my husband and I were watching at our house for the weekend. Having Sophie and a dog around that evening helped a lot with morale. In addition to my foot being in terrible shape, my husband had also just had emergency surgery several weeks ago for his gallbladder, so it had been a pretty rough summer for us. Saturday, July 27th and Sunday, July 28th, my husband, Matt, and I spent the rest of the weekend hanging out with our friend's dog at our house. I got to do a lot of short walks with the dog, who loved being outside. I was not able to walk for more than about 10 minutes at a time, but I think that worked out fine for the dog because it was so hot outside that he would go straight to the water dish as soon as we would get back inside and then take a nap. On Monday, July 29th, 2024, the day before my surgery, I was able to get all of my paperwork completed for work before taking 2 weeks of FMLA for the surgery, and went into the office for the last time before my surgery that afternoon. I stopped by the library on the way home from the office to pick up the library books I had requested so that I would have a lot of reading while recovering from the surgery. The hospital called in the afternoon to let me know that my surgery was scheduled for 10:45 in the morning and that I could drink clear liquids until 7:45 a.m. I was really happy that my surgery was not going to be too late in the day. I just had my last day of driving before my foot surgery tomorrow. Drove to the library, to the office, and to the gym. Just a little bit under an hour of driving. And I'm not gonna lie, my foot really hurts. The pain is moving from my foot and about halfway up to my knee, probably up to about here. So as nervous as I am about the recovery from the foot surgery, I am also really excited to be getting this fixed. So we'll see how this goes. After work, my family had us over for dinner, and it was really nice to get to hang out with them the night before my surgery. When we got home that evening, Matt and I took a short walk to enjoy my last night of being able to do steps. It ended up being very short, not even 10 minutes, because it didn't take long at all for my foot and lower leg to go completely numb, and I was definitely very ready for the surgery at that point. If you like this video and would like to see more updates on how the foot surgery recovery is going, please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that a lot. I am working on growing my channel and getting more subscribers. Thank you so much for listening to my story.